Thank you. You may be seated. Welcome, one and all. My name is Kyle Medier, and it is my honor and privilege to serve as principal at Walled Lake Central High School. Before beginning our commencement, I would like to recognize the women and men whose service to our country has made this day possible for all of us. Could all past, present, and officially committed future U.S. military members please stand for recognition, including any graduates who are officially entering the military next year. Please stand. Thank you. Welcome to Walled Lake Central High School's 102nd commencement. At this time, I want to introduce our honored platform guests. First, our Walled Lake Consolidated Schools Board of Education. President, Mrs. Peggy Casagrande. Vice President, Mr. Craig Peterson. Secretary, Mrs. Shayna Levin. Treasurer, Mrs. Stephanie Kaplan. And the trustees, Mrs. Julie Fernandez. Mr. Mark Siegler. And Ms. Christy Tice. We also recognize former board member Mrs. Denise Dunn, who is on the platform today as her daughter is graduating from Walled Lake Central. We also recognize Superintendent of Schools, Dr. John Bernia. Deputy Superintendent, Dr. Michael Lons. And Assistant Superintendent for Learning Services, Catherine Kohansky. I would also like to take this time to recognize and thank the faculty and staff of Walled Lake Central for sharing this evening with our students. I would also like to thank Walled Lake Central's office staff, Missy Mergner, Pam Dirth, and Tracy Coram for their hard work in making this event possible. Parents, families, and friends of the class of 2023, this is also a time to congratulate you. Graduates, please give a round of applause to your family members who have helped you along the way to get to this point in your life. Okay, you know at weddings where you stand up and you sit down based on how many years you've been married possibly? Well, we're going to do something similar right now. Could any parents stand who have had multiple students graduate from Walled Lake Central High School? Multiple graduates. Wonderful. And please, stay standing. Stay standing if you've had 4 graduates from Walled Lake Central High School. Anybody with 4 out there? Anybody with 5? Anybody have 5 graduates from Walled Lake Central? There we go. Thank you, and please stand if this is your first or perhaps only graduate from Walled Lake Central. Congratulations. And last but not least, are there any adults in the audience, parents, grandparents, siblings, or others who graduated from Walled Lake Central? Alumni, please stand and be recognized. Fantastic. And now it is my honor to welcome to the stage 2 hardworking graduates, our senior class president, Lily Castle, and our student leadership executive president, Lindsay Hamama.
Good afternoon, parents, teachers, families, and graduates. Welcome to the Walled Lake Central Class of 2023 commencements. I am Lindsay Hamama, the Walled Lake Central Student Council Executive President. Lily and I would like to be the first to congratulate all of you.
Now we request that the audience please stand as you are able, and gentlemen, remove your hats for the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner by Walled Lake Central's choir under the direction of Miss Olivia Bloomer. After the singing of the national anthem, please be seated and enjoy a musical selection by our choir.
Thank you to Ms. Bloomer and the choir for that amazing performance. Graduates, as we embark on our new journeys, we remember what got us to this moment. For me, it was staying up past midnight with my dad in the kitchen as I'm on the verge of tears and we're both breaking a sweat trying to figure out how a squared plus b squared could possibly equal e squared. It turns out it equals c squared, and we kind of messed up on that one, Dad. I know most of us will never forget the hours we spent cramming for our tests or that punch in the gut feeling when you walk into a class and realize that something was due and you totally forgot to do it. But we will also hold on to our sacred Friday nights spent at football games, our thrilling pep assemblies, all of our dances, and the friends we made along the way. I watched all 3 of my siblings go through Central effortlessly, and I was more than excited to do the same. However, it was not what I expected at all. High school has its ups and downs and isn't always a smooth journey. We had to learn how to transition from middle school to adulthood, discover ourselves and what our passions are in such a short amount of time. We've all lost some friends we thought were going to be in our lives forever, became friends with people we would have never thought to talk to before high school. We've probably all failed at least one thing in our time here at Central, or many things. We gained new administration throughout our school and district as a whole. For those of you who took computer science, we had not 1, not 2, but 3 different teachers this past year alone. Oh, and we had that thing called the pandemic. How could I forget about that one? Times like these showed me that not everything will be how you expect it, nor will everything go according to plan. No matter how much preparation and planning that goes into something, it can still go wrong. You may have your whole life planned out ahead of you at this moment, down to what car you'll be driving in 10 years. Or maybe you're like me, and your plans for your job, goals, and immediate wants change every day, sometimes several times in a day, and that is completely okay. Now, either way, nothing is promised in our lives, and everything can change in an instant. But I want you all to know that no matter what you will go through in the future, whether you failed your first exam, you can't find a new job, your loved one passed away, or you're just not feeling good emotionally or mentally, just remember that the best is yet to come. Our journey won't be easy. We will face these setbacks, disappointments, and moments of doubt. Let's also remember that failure is not the opposite of success. It is a stepping stone on the path to greatness. Embrace failure as an opportunity to learn, grow, and evolve. Believe in yourself, even when others doubt you. And always remember that the only limitations that truly exist are the ones we place upon ourselves. You may lose some things or people along your journey, but everything in fact does happen for a reason. Fellow graduates, I urge you all to power through your struggles and be resilient. Our class is no stranger to being resilient. We have gone through so much together, and if there's any group of people who can take on the challenges of today's world, it is the class of 2023. Graduates, do not forget about the power of community. Our classmates, teachers, and families have been our support throughout these years. They've cheered us on when we felt defeated, believed in us when we doubted ourselves, and celebrated our successes. Their unwavering presence has taught us the importance of standing together, helping one another, and lifting each other up. Do not forget about the importance of support in your next chapter of life. Surround yourself with people who lift you up and cheer you on in your successes and even in your failures. I cannot stand up here today without thanking the people who put up with us. Helped us get this far. Thank you to our teachers for always believing in us and encouraging us throughout the years. I'd like to give a special thanks to Ms. Tattoo. She took on being the head of student leadership when we first came back to school 2 years ago and had to rebuild it from scratch. She has since been a key factor to all of our event successes. Ms. Tattoo, it was a pleasure working with you these past 2 years. Thank you for everything. Thank you to our admin, our coaches, and all of our support staff for helping us along the way. Thank you to the class of 2023 for making high school such a fun and unforgettable experience. And finally, thank you to my parents. After having kids in Walled Lake schools for 23 years, Mom, you're finally done waking up at 6 a.m. and packing lunches. Congratulations. I know I would not be where I am today without all of the sacrifices you two have made for our family. Graduates, at this time, please look into the audience and give a wave, or maybe even blow a kiss, and applaud the special people in your life who have supported you thus far. Parents, as moody and unappreciative us teenagers may seem, we truly love and appreciate all that you do for us. As we part ways and embark on new adventures, let us carry the memories, lessons, and friendships that were forged during our time here at Central. Let us continue to be leaders, change makers, and advocates for positive transformation. Our journey may have begun at Walled Lake Central, but our impact will extend far beyond its walls. I want to congratulate each and every one of my fellow graduates on this important occasion. We have achieved so much already, but the best is yet to come. As we move forward, let us do so with a sense of purpose and a commitment to excellence. Let us never forget the lessons we have learned and the people who have helped us along the way. Thank you, and congratulations again to the class of 2023. And as always, go Vikings! Now, please bring your attention to the senior class president, Lily Castle.
Can you believe that approximately 13 years, 4,653 days, 111,672 hours ago, we started the chapter of our lives that we are closing out today? September 7th, 2010. We were waiting at the bus stop, nervous, but not as nervous as our parents that were about to send us off for the first time ever. If you were the firstborn child, then your parents probably cried or even drove you to school because they were too nervous for you to take the bus. If you were the lastborn child, then they couldn't wait for you to get on the bus fast enough. Oh, and the middle child, well, they probably forgot to take you to the bus stop. We were wearing backpacks that were way too big for our little bodies, shoes that lit up with every step we took, and carried lunchboxes at our side with our favorite TV show characters at the time. We stepped on a bus full of strangers that we have grown with and learned with for 13 years. Those strangers are now our friends and the people we get to graduate alongside today. It's hard for me to fathom from that first day at the bus stop in 2010 that I'm here now, speaking at my high school graduation in 2023. Time is an interesting thing because it feels like we have lived 100 years so far in our school career, but at the same time, how does it feel like 1 minute? I remember the feeling of sitting on that bus, looking at all the faces next to me, wondering who was going to be my new friend. I remember trying to look at my older brother in the back of the bus, but doing it in a sneaky way because I didn't want to be the embarrassing little sister to all of his cool friends. I remember the excitement of heading to school for the very first time ever, and also how tired I was because I was never able to sleep the night before the first day of school. Even as a senior in high school, I will admit the first day jitters never escaped my first day of school tradition. All of us here today have different memories of what it felt like to be a 5-year-old, walking into our kindergarten class for the first time and experiencing what school was really like. Now we are sitting here, our last time together, feeling all different kinds of emotions. Though our backpacks might fit our bodies a little better and our shoes don't light up with every step, we are all those same kids experiencing some of the same excitement and nervousness we felt on September 7th, 2010. As time goes on, some things will always stay the same, but change is inevitable and is bound to happen as we grow older. Some change is good, some change is bad, some change was caused by us, and some change we had no control over. Today, we are experiencing one of the biggest life-changing moments that we have gone through so far. It's a huge milestone that we get to celebrate with our classmates, friends, and families. For many of us, an unexpected change is that we're missing someone that would have been here celebrating with us today. This person would have been looking at us from the crowd right now, cheering us alongside our friends and families. Even though they may not be here in this room right now, they are the people that shaped us into who we are in this moment and guided us to be able to accomplish something so significant as we are today. For some, it could be a parent, grandparent, brother, or sister, or someone that felt like family to them. Last year, we lost our former 2019 Central alum, Madison Lateni, who was like a sister to me. In honor of Maddie, the class of 2023 is donating a memorial bench and garden that is going to be placed at Walled Lake Central. Losing Maddie taught me how quickly things can change and to never take life and time for granted. It is important for all of us to think about the people who helped us get to this moment today. We could not have done it without the support of our friends and families. We could not have done the midnight run to Target for a poster board the night before our project was due. We could not have learned how to tie a shoe, smile big for our school picture, match our outfits, all the important things in life. We needed someone to sit there with us with patience and teach us how to tie 2 bunny ears over and over. We needed someone to lift us up to get a good view in the mirror and say, cheese, a million times to practice for those special school pictures. We definitely needed someone to tell us that maybe a purple shirt and red shorts was not the best match. We obviously now know how to do all of those things alone. We are independent adults starting a new chapter of life. We have changed physically and emotionally, but also many aspects have stayed the same. We all have different plans for what comes after today, but right now, let's live in the moment and enjoy one of the most special days of our lives. I would like to say thank you to my grandma and Zadie for teaching me how to live life to the fullest and always believing in me. Thank you to my mom and dad for all the hard work you have put in for me to help me reach my fullest potential. Now, with the success of our senior year homecoming week, it is only fitting for me to end my speech with a quote from High School Musical. Here and now, it's time for celebration. We finally figured out that all our dreams have no limitations. That's what it's all about. And don't forget, we're all in this together. Thank you.
Thank you, Lindsay and Lily. You'll be a hard act to follow. Those were fantastic. Thank you. All right. So it's my extreme honor and pleasure to address the graduating class as principal at Walled Lake Central High School. This is the 102nd graduating class, as you heard me say earlier, and you have achieved so many things individually and collectively, just a few of which I'd like to highlight here. These achievements include, and these are just a few, nearly $2 million in scholarship money that has been earned, not given, but earned for college. The achievement that over 90% of you are going on to college to continue your education, and the other 10% are entering the workforce or the military. And those two numbers combined mean that 100% of you are going to make a positive difference on society and our economy. The achievement that dozens of you earned perfect fives, and even more of you earned college credit on the recent AP exams, and that there are students who have already begun taking college classes before graduating from high school. The achievement that our athletics teams and individuals as recently as yesterday have won many championships and individual awards through blood, sweat, and tears. The achievement that our competing band, percussion, and color guard have continued to compete at the very highest levels, not only in the state of Michigan, but throughout the United States of America. The achievement that we filled our auditorium this year for music and theater performances, topped off by the magnificent Tarzan musical this past April. I could stand up here, but you guys want to have some Sunday afternoon at some point. I could talk about your achievements all afternoon. And make no mistake, the achievements that I listed and other achievements that you are proud of individually are all things that you should be proud of. You had the drive, the perseverance, and the tenacity, don't forget the talent, to navigate high school and come out on top like the winners that each and every one of you are. For many of you, graduating high school was not easy. For you, graduating may have been your Mount Everest, a seemingly impossible feat of fortitude and maybe a little bit of luck, and something that you achieved with some serious support from others. And with that, I'll continue a theme that Lily and Lindsay began just a minute ago. You see, about a month ago, at the beginning of May, we celebrated Teacher Appreciation Week. There are many appreciation weeks out there for people in society that help in sometimes thankless jobs, difficult jobs like police officers, nurses, armed forces, and yes, teachers for Teacher Appreciation Week. Like the jet fighter pilot, I think we have somebody entering the Air Force here this year, like the jet fighter pilot who has her flight deck crew to thank her for her safe landings. or the stage actor who owes a thank you to the stage crew that makes him visible and heard, or the Formula One race car driver who can't continue on lap after lap without the pit crew. We've all got our crew that helps us. One day, during Teacher Appreciation Week this past May, our Walled Lake Consolidated Schools Facebook account asked its followers to reply to a post explaining who was the best teacher they ever had. I'm sure some parents out there replied to that one. I saw that post and I knew right away who the best teacher was in my education. I had to go all the way back to the mid-1980s when I was blessed with having Mr. Tom Shanowski as my kindergarten teacher. And there we are. There's a picture of Mr. Shanowski. I want to make sure he can show up there. There we are. Oops, sorry. Mr. Shanowski was such a great teacher because he instilled in me a love of learning and a love of school that quite obviously has never left me, otherwise I probably wouldn't be here today. He made sure we learned how to read and write using the letter people. Children of the 80s, remember the letter people? We did those. How to treat each other with kindness and how to play fair. He strummed his guitar in class as we sang along to songs like La Bamba and Leaving on the Jet Plane. He fostered an environment where his students learned math and art and science, and we had a lot of fun and made friends during that learning. In fact, even to this day, I'm still friends with quite a few people that I took kindergarten in Mr. Shanowski's class. That was the kind of teacher he was, a great one, and I owe him a great debt of gratitude. An important note is that Mr. Shanowski, who taught in the Farmington Public Schools, not Walled Lake, but he had 3 kids, Mark, Brian, and Sarah, go through Walled Lake Central. And they're on the All-State Athletic Wall, and his daughter Sarah's on the Athletic Hall of Fame at our school. Mark has returned to Walled Lake Central as one of our track and field coaches. His wife, Kathy, was coincidentally my middle school home economics teacher. I wasn't the best in that class, but she got me through it. And Kathy, as well as several members of the family, are here with us today as our special guests. Shanowski family, where are you? Could you please stand at this time and be recognized? There they are. Thank you. I'll loop back to Mr. Shanowski in just a minute, but earlier I brought up bringing that climbing Mount Everest was sort of like graduating from high school for many of you. Please know that while scaling a 29,000-foot mountain is a huge individual accomplishment, it's not an individual accomplishment. Nobody does it alone. There are guides, safety experts, and there are those who fund the trip and train the climbers. The point is, climbing to the top of Mount Everest or graduating from high school is an achievement that anyone would be proud of. But that pride comes with the responsibility of giving proper acknowledgement and thanks to the people who helped you get to that point. Whoever helped you scale that giant peak of a mountain, you may have blown them a kiss a minute ago, or of graduation, or of achieving your personal record, and I think we set a couple yesterday at the track meet, or getting through the hard times. I know that each of you 300-plus graduates have someone, but probably many people, who helped you get here today. Whether it's a teacher who believed in you and some days challenged you beyond your limits to the point of tears, or the parent who stayed up late night with you, helping you do your homework way past their bedtime, or a para in your class who was your go-to person, or a coach who made sure you were not only motivated to finish the workout, but to stay motivated in school, or maybe a pastor who connected you to the inspiration that you needed to be successful, or perhaps a family that funded a scholarship. I know many of you received legacy scholarships this year that helped you afford college. We all have someone who has helped us get to this point in our lives. And it could be an unconventional person. The barista at Starbucks who made sure you had energy to get to school. The police officer who stood by the ticket that they gave you for speeding and now you're a bit of a safer driver. Or the elementary cafe worker who made sure that even though you forgot your lunch about every other day, they made sure that you were fed. Speaking of scholarships, I mentioned legacy scholarships. I should also thank my kindergarten teacher's family for generously providing the Tom Shanowski Memorial Scholarship, which was earned this year by none other than Lindsay Hamama. And you heard me right, the Tom Shanowski Memorial Scholarship named in the memory of my kindergarten teacher, is a memorial scholarship to honor his life as he passed away of cancer in 2003. I was a senior in college when Mr. Shanowski passed, and I bought a Hallmark card to send to his family, and I had 3 other people. Remember, I said that I'm still friends with people in my kindergarten class. Our intent was to sign it and mail it to the family. Well, things get lost, and that card got lost. It never got mailed. We did sign it. It just never made it to the mailbox. So the whole point here is that while I regret that while Mr. Shanowski was alive, I never took the time to let him know how much he meant to me, the years went by, and before I knew it, there was his obituary in the newspaper. 20 years later, I have in my possession Mr. Shanowski's work briefcase right here, given to me by his wife Kathy earlier this year. I keep this briefcase above my desk at Walled Lake Central as a reminder of what is really important, that we all have accomplished something, but that we have all had some serious assistance along the way. I have a few helpers who have stood up and want to share with our audience some people who have helped them along the way. Nalani Johnson, why don't you get us started?
Johnson, and I would like to thank my mother. I love that she has always been there to take me to all of my activities and my club meetings and everything I always said I wanted to try for one day, and I stopped. And I know when she would rather be at home relaxing, she was always there for me. And I know I will succeed in my life and my career because of her. So thank you.
I'm Donna Dawn, and to my teacher, Miss Hart, there's many ways to describe Miss Hart in my life. She's been a big part. Throughout these 4 years, there's many tears. She's helped me overcome many great fears. I want to thank her for all that she's done. She's made learning so much more fun. I'll now say goodbye with many tears in my eyes. The last thing I want to say on this exciting new day, thank you, Ms. Hart, for your kind, generous heart. Yours to Donna Dawn.
I want to thank all my coaches I've had in the last 10 plus years. That taught me not just be an athlete, but also taught me to be a better man. But without my parents, I would not be up here right now. They are the ones that keep you on the right path. Love you, Mom. Love you, Dad.
I'd like to say thank you to all of my football coaches throughout the 12 years of football I've played. 2 major ones that really stuck with me in life are my head coach this year, Joshua Peruzzi, and Joe Bullis. Those 2 people really made me stick with it, work hard, and realize that dedication is what gets you this far. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mohammed Sarani, and I'd like to thank my father. Through high school, we had a lot of arguments, some fights, but it was all out of care, and I want you to know that I appreciate you, and I love you. Love you, too. And I'd also like to thank a second person, this teacher, even though I was always late to her class, Miss Colin. She was my teacher for 4 years. She was always there for me when I was down. Before any tests or quiz, she always supported me. And for that, I'll never forget you, and I always appreciate you for that. Thank you.
So thank you, graduates, for sharing those kind words of thanks. Today, though, I'm going to make sure that all of you have the opportunity to say thank you to whoever in your life you owe some gratitude. Whoever that is, today, in your diploma covers that you'll get in just a moment, inside, you'll find a postcard, looks like this. On your chair, to the left of your chair, there's a pen. While we're reading off the names for the next little while, take a second to reflect and write a quick note to someone who has made a difference in your lives. If you want us to get that postcard to someone in our school district, or if you need us to mail it for you, we'll stamp it and mail it as long as you write who it's to and approximately where they are. I'll put Mr. Shanowski's open briefcase just like this down there at the exit, the entrance that you came through at the beginning. And all you have to do is drop that postcard in that on your way out, and we'll get that postcard to the right person. So again, graduates, thank you for staying the course, finishing the job, making us proud, but also thank you to all the people out there with us or past, here in this arena or watching in the future on video, or those who have helped our graduates in some other way along their way. The ancient African proverb, "It takes a village to raise a child," is so very true. Thank you, congratulations to the class of 2023, and be that person in the future who is being thanked by others. Thank you. We will now honor our students for their academic successes. The class of 2023 has a whopping 174 seniors who graduated with honors. We will now recognize each honor group for their accomplishments. 48 seniors have graduated with a 3.5 to 3.79 grade point average and are wearing a bronze cord. Students in this honor group, please stand now to be recognized. Thank you. There are 37 students who have graduated with a 3.8 to a 3.99 GPA who are wearing a silver cord. Students in this honor group, please stand now to be recognized. Thank you. 46 seniors have maintained a GPA of 4.0 and above and are wearing a gold cord. This is a remarkable feat that we will recognize individually for these students. When I call your name, please stand and remain standing until all names have been called. We would also like to invite the families of these 4.0 students to stand in recognition of all you have done to support them. Audience, please hold your applause until the end. Nicholas Adams, Anish Amin, Maya Arafat, Nicholas Babi, Haneen Bedreldin, Aditya Bodanapu, Ashton Clark, Samantha Khan, Rohan Danu, Amanda Dunn, Sana Ferguson, Luke Filthout, Julia Frund, Anthony George, Gabrielle Haji, Lindsay Hamama, Caitlin Hawley, Noor Kamuni, Noor Kanafer, Siddharth Kodapati, Olivia Kozlowski, Aaron Kucherenko, Juliana Manganello, Preston McLean, Eva Middleton, William Moore, Alina Morse, Morgan Murdoch, Lance Negrut, Ariella Osipov, Brian Perrette, Brielle Fung, Alex Raban, Juliana Rains, Haley Roshan, Grace Sema, Alexis Smigelski, Ayla Smolash, Matthew Streets, Nee Trin, Brian Ulrich, Lauren Ulrich, Emily Wade, Nora White, Loretta Witt, Christian Wan, and Milana Youssef. Did I miss anybody? Speak now. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our 2023 Distinguished Academic Scholars. These students did their homework so well for the last 4 years that we gave them one last assignment to come close out their high school career. 4.0 speakers, please approach the podium for your address.
Hello. Thank you for joining us in celebrating our class of 2023. During our time at Central, we as a class have made huge accomplishments despite our first year being cut short. Upon our return, we were united by the common goal of creating an impactful high school experience. In the following years, in-person classes gave us the opportunity to become close friends with one another.
Through the various clubs, sports, and honor societies, our class quickly became very close-knit. The bonds in meetings, races, and banquets create everlasting impacts. Our friendships allowed us to learn lessons, grow through our mistakes, and have the support necessary to excel in our 4 years at Walled Lake Central. We are proud to stand before you today, accomplishing something amazing alongside our friends, family, and teachers.
Our class has done so much that we should be proud of. With an astounding 46 of us graduating with GPAs north of 4.0 and 131 graduating with honors, the academic prowess of our students is unprecedented. Throw in the all-state athletes, club founders, and student leaders, and it's clear just how successful we can be as individuals. But our class is even stronger together. Whether it's taking down the seniors in Spirit Week as juniors, or rebuilding the culture of the school after COVID, we've accomplished so much as a class.
With many of our teams being recognized as among the best in the state, our leadership and athletic capabilities are impressive without question. Even our fine arts are exceptional, with state-renowned performers and an incredible band. We are exemplary in every aspect of the word. Our class is one that consists of students from all aspects of life. Whether it's scholars, musicians, athletes, student leaders, or tradesmen, we all hold unique talents. But the strength of our culture is formed through the diversity of our perspectives and skill sets. All of us are critical ingredients to the unique recipe that makes our class shine. Our accomplishments cannot be done without the overwhelming amount of support that we received during our 4 years at Central. First, we'd like to thank our teachers for persevering during our first 2 years of high school and welcoming us with open arms when we came back in person. The passion that many staff members exhibited at Central fueled our desire to learn. Our teachers not only helped us in the classroom, but also within the extracurricular community at Walled Lake Central. Many of our students created clubs or joined sports teams with the encouragement from our teachers.
Second, the memories we shared with our friends will never go unnoticed. The bonds we made in classrooms, pep assemblies, sporting events, and club meetings will always be cherished. The support and enthusiasm experienced within the walls of Walled Lake Central was a key part in our success. Finally, we would like to thank our parents. They have stuck with us since kindergarten, holding our hands on the first day of school, saying goodbye as we arrived at our first classroom. The endless amount of encouragement during elementary school presentations, high school sporting events, middle school theater, and everything in between never went unnoticed. They stuck with us as we progressed year after year, helping mold us into the students we are today. Now it is our time to hold their hand one last time as we move on to the next chapter of our lives.
We all share an abundance of memories with each other. Some of us have been going to school together since kindergarten, and some of us have just met this year. Our class accomplished so much these past 4 years, and we couldn't have done it with one another. Taking all the things we've done at Central, there are so many possibilities out there to do what each of us does best. So dream big, look at what you've already done, and look forward to the big, bright future in front of you.
Everyone graduating here today has done a lot for Central, and that's what makes us all unique. Those are the qualities we'll take out into the world to fulfill all of our dreams and desires. Even though everyone lives very different lives, all of us have this exact moment in common. We stand here together, graduating as one class. It doesn't matter if you're an athlete or a student of the arts, we're celebrating your accomplishments and we're celebrating each other. This is just the beginning of the bright future we have ahead of us. So congrats, we did it. No matter who you are or what you've done to make Central home, we're here graduating today. Good luck, class of 2023. And now we will listen to a performance from our Wind Symphony, What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong.
As president of the class of 2023, I am honored, thankful, and appreciative to introduce to you our senior class advisors, Walled Lake Central teachers, Miss Catalina and Mr. Compton.
Now, I would like to introduce to the podium somebody who is still new to our school district, but has already had a huge impact from the first day he stepped foot in our school last fall until now, his first graduation ceremony in Walled Lake. Please let's give a big Viking welcome to the stage, our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. John Bernia.
Thank you. Members of the Board of Education, distinguished guests, colleagues, parents, family, friends, alumni, and most importantly, the class of 2023. Good afternoon. We are here today to celebrate one of our culture's rites of passage. High school seniors walked into the arena. High school graduates will walk out. Whether today's graduates might not know it just yet, from this moment forward, the lens they look at the world will be just a little different. This is an incredible milestone in your life. And I know for me, during those milestones in my life, it's meant so much to have the people I'm close with here with me. I also know from my own experience that some of the people you cherish are not here right now. So before I get to what I want to say, let's pause a moment and think about all those people who are not here that we wish were. Thank you. In the lives of the class of 2023, today is a special milestone where once again everything changes. This class has lived through moments in time which have changed our world. I think we all recognize the difference between the pre- and post-COVID worlds. Another milestone that happened in the lives of these young people happened in 2007 when Apple released the first iPhone. Believe it or not, graduates, that there was a time where a selfie really wasn't a thing. It wasn't common to walk down the street and see someone go like this. Just didn't happen. This technology from Apple has led to increased ways that we communicate with each other, social media platforms that allow people to come together. And the fact of the matter is, for the class of 2023, it'll be much easier to stay in touch than it was for the class of 1998. However, there's a risk. Living life through a screen takes you away from the moments, the big ones like you're going through today, and the small ones that make your best memories. This was cemented for me earlier this year when NBA star LeBron James broke the record for most points scored in professional basketball, once held by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. There's a famous photo of LeBron taking the shot where he's going to break the record. If you find it and you zoom in and you look, all the fans, all the people behind him are taking in that moment just like this, poised to take a picture that they could text or post to social media. Everybody that is except one guy down in the corner under the basket who's just there, taking it all in, all live, right in front of him. My challenge to you, graduates, is to be that guy, to live your life seeing, not just looking. Think back on your high school experience. What were the very best moments? If you could go back now and start all over again, what would you do differently? I'd imagine that those moments that stand out for you are those moments where you were in it, where you were present. Maybe it was when you were backstage after the musical where you knew you just nailed it. Or after that big marching band performance. Or when you were in the huddle and coach said, you know what, we're going to go for 2 and try to win it. What are the moments you regret? Chances are there moments you spent worrying about something else. Or you were somewhere other than where you wanted to be. Or you found yourself being less present and you got to the end and you thought, what just happened? It's important to reflect on your past experiences. It's fun to tell stories. It's fun to reminisce. It's vital in your life to have a vision and to dream. But if I could offer you one piece of advice, it would be this. Spend the majority of your life where your feet are. Be where you are. Look, don't just see. Savor today. If not just for yourself, but for the people that brought you here, who have packed your lunch for a long, long time, who have waited in a lot of parking lots for you to be done with something to pick you up, and have longed for this moment. I wish you all the very best in your future endeavors. On behalf of me, my team, and all of Walled Lake Schools, congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Bernia. President Casagrande, on behalf of the faculty and administration of Walled Lake Central High School, I present to the Board of Education the graduating class of 2023. These students have fulfilled all the graduation requirements set forth by the Walled Lake Consolidated School District and the great state of Michigan.
Good afternoon. In just a few moments, you'll be walking across this stage. It's a defining moment for you, your family, and friends. I didn't plan it. I couldn't have planned it any better, what I was going to speak about today. And what we've already heard today from Mr. Meddy, Dr. Bernia, some of the students, we've heard about moments. We've heard about passion. I recently read a book called The Power of Moments: Why Certain Experiences Have Extraordinary Impact. It's by Chip and Dan Heath. I also discussed this book just a few, maybe days ago with a few work colleagues, and we shared some of our passions. We shared some of what made us who we are today. So, what did I share and how is it relevant? I shared a story about one of my English teachers. About 20 years after high school graduation, I wrote to one of my high school English teachers. I happened to be lucky enough to have Mrs. Swanson for 3 years. I had her in 8th grade, in my junior year, and in my senior year of high school. The defining moment I had with Mrs. Swanson was after a particularly complex grammar test. We were studying infinitives, gerunds, participles, some of our favorite things. Mrs. Swanson exclaimed as she passed back our tests, "I have never, ever had anyone ace one of my grammar tests, but somebody did. It was me." This moment confirmed for me that writing and communication and grammar were valid skills. And I wanted Mrs. Swanson to know about that defining moment. I wanted her to understand that that led to many career and life successes. She wrote back, she remembered me, she's since retired, and she told me a little secret. She does not miss grading any of those essays. Back to the power of moments. 5 years, 10 years, maybe today as you fill out those postcards, you may realize that there was something in Walled Lake Schools that had defining moments. We heard from a few students here who shared with us today. It may be a teacher, a friend, a family member. Let that someone know. Fill out those postcards. I do believe that those failures that some of us talked about here today, known as pits in this book, by the author again of The Power of Moments, they have tremendous value. Another brief story that I will share with you. I was chaperoning a field trip, the physics field trip, where we go to Cedar Point. I thought I was being really clever. I had a small wallet, I had a driver's license, 1 credit card, about $60 in cash, had it securely in my front pocket, get on the roller coaster, flips out of my pocket. I get off of the ride, I talk to one of the employees. I'm told, well, we can look under the track at the end of the day. Maybe somebody will turn it in if they find it. My 3rd trip to Lost and Found, my wallet was there. There was a note. "I caught your wallet in midair. I don't know if you'll ever find it. I hope this gets to you. You cannot make this stuff up. My cash was still there. My driver's license was there. Everything was there. If I could reach out to that person, I would. Never, ever underestimate an act of kindness. Today, as you sit here in anticipation, ready to walk across the stage, enjoy this defining moment. All the hard work, the things that we talked about up here, the sleepless nights, the stress, the fun, the extracurricular activities, the volunteer experiences, and more, is what is going to propel all of you to what's next. Celebrate, you deserve it. We are very proud of each and every one of you. It's now my pleasure to call to the podium Mr. Medier and Dr. Bernier for the acceptance of the class of 2023.
Superintendent Bernia, on behalf of the faculty and staff of Walled Lake Central High School, I hereby present to you the class of 2023.
President Casagrande, I certify that the young men and women seated before you have fulfilled all the requirements of the prescribed curriculum, and I recommend they be graduated from Walled Lake Central High School.
Then by the power vested in the Board of Education by the state of Michigan, the citizens of Walled Lake Consolidated School District, I hereby confer diplomas of graduation and all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto.
Alexis Smigelski.
Alina Morris.
Haley Roshan.
Morgan Murdoch.
Alex Raban.
Lance Nagroot.
Noor Knaffer.
Say your name. Say it again. Ariella Osbeff.
Amanda Dunn.
Brian Perrette.
Haneen Badreldine.
Brielle Fung.
Lindsay Hamama.
Grace Sema.
Lily Castle.
Ayla Smolash.
Maya Arafat.
Matthew Street.
Anish Amin.
Nee Treen.
Nicholas Adams.
Lauren Ulrich.
Juliana Rains.
Brian Ulrich.
Olivia Kozlowski.
Emily Wade.
Samantha Khan.
Nora White.
Ashton Clark.
Loretta Witt.
Milana Youssef.
Christian Wan.
Gabrielle Haji.
Alejandro Garcia de Leon.
Anthony George.
Yes. Joseph Alos.
Julia Freund.
Paige Coleman.
Luke Philthought.
Miriam Shamoon.
Sana Ferguson.
Sky Murphy.
Rohan Danu.
Ashlyn Burnett.
Adidia Bodanapu.
Grace Erspalmer.
Nicholas Bobby.
Taryn Stewart.
William Moore.
John Carlos Roeder.
Eva Middleton.
Donna Dawn.
Preston McLean.
John Paul Sabah.
Juliana Manganello.
Jack Burbaker Flood.
Aaron Kucherenko.
Nathan Marino.
Siddharth Kodapati.
Jacob Bezlak.
Nor Kamuni.
Michaela Aveda.
Caitlin Hawley.
Giovanni Ayu.
Jaden Arafat.
Stephen A.R.
Tommy Borden.
Tiffany Byrie.
Julia Carlisle.
Cortez Baker.
Katrina Hines.
Ashley Baldwin.
Sarasa Irie.
Ekor Baranu.
Nalani
Brenke.
Johnson.
Austin Brenke.
Jesse Martin.
Hayden Buell.
Aaliyah
Jewel. Yana Borgrimova. Burkett.
Serena Jarbo.
Andrew Burkett.
Braden Cornish.
Connor Callahan.
Brody Riker.
Lincoln Carrier.
Narain Abdul.
Chandler Carson.
Wyatt Akers.
Kiera Cartwright. Say your last name, Choi.
Gavin Alden.
Abigail Choi.
Morgan Allen.
Kayla Clark.
Aiden Amin.
Megan Coultier.
Alexander Anderson.
Jack Deely. Pronounce your last name.
Elizabeth Anderson.
Gabrielle Descores.
Joshua Anderson.
Mira Drangowski.
Kylie Anderson.
Preston Duquette. What is it?
Armani Angton.
Colin Durand.
Savannah Anton.
Brandon Edwards Foy. Emmerich.
Narek Basmejian.
What? Logan Emmerich.
Jonathan Bell.
Alex Engel.
Olivia Bennett.
Oh, nice. Sarah Epps.
Samuel Burnson.
Dylan Evans.
Veronica B. Glazer.
Jeremiah Feltner.
Daniel Bimbad.
Michael Hashla.
Adriana Blasquez Gonzalez.
Skylar Hardy. Hey, Hartford.
Zeta Boji.
Cooper Hartfoot.
Lene Bowers.
Gavin Hart.
Savannah Brightweiser.
Jaden Henderson. Hennig.
Jersey Colopy.
Ella Hennig.
Ren Cummings.
Julia Hennig.
Christopher Couture.
Nicholas Herdoza.
Daniel Dabish.
Braden Hill.
Jordan Dace.
Shyla Holbrook.
Anna Davila Zabla.
Jaron Kaplan.
Michaela Davis.
Layla Carson.
Ryan Davis.
Austin Kazmika. Casa.
Gavin DeVote.
Antonio Casa. What do you want me to say?
Margot
City?
DeVoir.
Cassidy Kassab.
Martin Fuentes.
Amelia Katz. Kenya? How do you pronounce
Anya Filipov.
it? Kanai. Louis Kanai. Elliot Franz.
Ellie Mae Keys.
Colin Furwork.
Cashin Khan.
Jorian Gallo.
Matthew Camaro.
Jameson Garling.
Jalen King.
George Gasso.
Fallon Kirksey.
Haya George.
Sprite Mathis.
Trevor Grimes.
Andre Mazmanian.
Joshua Grossman.
Gabrielle Mursky.
Kaylee Gustafson.
Reese Meyer.
Shelby Holyfield.
Patrice McHale.
Rocco Islao.
Mikolov. Jonathan Mikolov.
Kaito Imai.
Lucas Minard.
Taylor Colston.
Sophia Mosheri.
Jack Ingram.
Madison Mogg.
Carter Ian.
Aliyah Mohammed.
Luke Jamil.
Diego Molina.
Miriam Jarbo.
What is it? Reneen Odish.
Seth Justin.
Benjamin Ogundu.
Mary Cagey.
Sarah Olson. Myron O'Hara.
Kayla Kamano.
Oraha. Myron Oraha.
Austin Kampush.
Allison Osborne. Pascal.
Drew LaValle.
Carlos Gabriel Pascal.
Megan Lateni.
Jude Pato.
Jake Lozon.
Antonio Pellerito.
Lauren Lang.
Moises Perez.
Frederick Kurzer.
Zachary Peterman.
Maxwell Kurzasia.
Isabella Phillips.
John Kraus.
Zach Pittman.
Megan Kraft.
Melina Shaba.
Aiden Crane.
Rita Shamami.
Frederick Coble.
Sivan Shamani.
Jacob Kizzy.
Hannah Sherman. Congratulations, Garrett.
Sabrina Marogi.
Garrett Shelby.
Anthony Masters.
Rosalina Sheena.
Easton Montaigne.
Christine Chirac.
Cole Murray.
Hyder Sharif.
Rowan Nader.
Julia Sheena.
Marion Naim.
Jake Shatroff.
Alexa Najar.
Viviana Willett.
Jordan Narkai.
Arnold Williams.
Ben Ndakwa.
Michaela Williams.
Nicholas Negru.
Lauren Willis.
Tony Wynn.
Kaylin Wilson.
Raneem Kadu.
Ava Wojciechowski.
Braden Quillman.
Justin Woodruff.
Alex Rester.
Michael Yako.
Alexander Romano.
Angelina Yaldu.
Ian Ross.
Michaela Youssef.
Brooklyn Ruffler.
Braden Yono.
Dylan Runyon.
Matthew Yono.
Mason Rushton.
Katerina Yusenko.
Anthony Simona.
Savio Youssef.
Stella Scott.
Mandalina Youssef.
Jack Semrau.
Mackenzie Youssef.
Vitor Silva.
Lexus Nosowski.
Samantha Simpson.
Gabriel Bastine.
John Sinanis.
Elazar Martinez.
Xander Slate. Luke Soka. Tyler Stroll. Maximus Suma. Thomas Sunberg. Ryan Serbrook. Evan Serbrook. All right. Irakli Tandalashvili. Yal Teshom. Lillian Thomas. Dylan Tipkin. Shenez Tiryaki. Mohammed Tarani. Tatiana Twigs. Cohen Vala. Jackson Van Curler. Alexis Bovilia Hogue. Brandon Wazalewski. Elizabeth Weglars. Aiden Weissman. Ava White.
Thank you. Please stand for the singing of Walled Lake Central's Alma Mater by Walled Lake Central's choir under the direction of Miss Olivia Bloomer and Walled Lake Central's Wind Symphony under the direction of Mr. David Rogers.
Beside thee ever in defeat and in victory ever share. We pledge eternal loyalty and our virtues shall defend. For the blue and gold will all stand together, Walled Lake until the end.
Audience, at this time, please get your cameras ready as we are about to perform the turning of the tassel. If you are not already with the class of 2023, please stand. I'll wait a moment for the choir members. Thank you for the performance. Perfect. You are now graduates of Walled Lake Central High School. Please turn your tassel to the left. Congratulations to our newest group of alumni. Okay, 4.0, get it. All right, let's go. Ready? So you guys are going to follow the staff. Just be ready, okay? Let the staff go first. Just go.